Not everybody's gonna get the AI stuff. And that's fine. But you know what they're gonna get? The healing stuff, the being lied to stuff, the being gaslit stuff. You know what else they're gonna relate to? Getting it out of their mind. Rewriting their own story, their own reward centers in the brain, new patterns of behavior. That's what the Gray Path is all about fundamentally. And it keeps evolving, emerging. So those of you that are joined in, bear with me as I record the process. Not all of it. Just the steps surrounding the outcome, maybe. There's a deep guts paywall emerging for that. You see, I have $0. I live in my parents' basement. But that's where the magic happens, my friend. I should not be this content. Yet I am. I'll wait till that plane passes. So what I've been doing in this leg, the Gray Path and the Weaver Index, has been, instead of targeting someone that wronged me or the group they're associated with, or even the broader problem, I flipped it towards a solution-oriented approach. That's what this is. This is an extension of that. That same approach through that scientific, analytical lens of the mind, not the fucking heart space this time. Remember, it's just a pump. The feeling is real. That's empathy. That's love. That's creation. Don't let these people twist it. I was calling it empathic weaponization, or weaponized empathy. It's not scientifically valid. We need better operational definitions. Don't worry, I've got that figured out. Open to criticism and judgments. As long as they're done in good faith, all others will be ignored. And just in case you think I'm being biased, I run it through the logical, analytical, linear, pellet-eating son of a bitches that their LLMs are so awesome. Free versions. Turns out you can do a lot with free. Don't worry, they have all your data anyway, people. So, let's see what happens when we turn this Gray Path prompt, the Weaver Index, into a tool inward. Can we rip the wounds anymore and get any more blood and pus out of there? I don't know. Let's find out. This is really about me changing from video 1 to video 300 and something now. I don't know if they're all live or whatever, but I need to get some comments. I got some. Anyway, that'll be a good short. Links in the blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're back. Anything else before we need to go? God does not belong in a box. I don't know why people insist on putting them there. Interesting, I said them. Data noted. No judgments. People in a box. There are people out there that think there's only two kinds of existence. Yay or nay. Demonic attachment, not God's children. Or God loves everybody except for when a person has a demonic attachment. Make it make sense, people. Yeah, all sorts of stupid dualities. I exist in the infinite space in between, and so do you probably if you're actually watching this. So, let's see how we could do that from a scientific lens, the ripping and the tearing, through all the absurdity, the paradox, the love, the pain, the joy, you name it. Let's go. I'm trying to break open. I'm trying to cry. I don't think I can anymore until I have a nervous system that understands me, mirroring me and parts of me that I never knew existed back to me. But I'm trying. Here we go.
I think this shift changes the center of gravity of the project in a meaningful way.
Every time.
Instead of asking, what's wrong with them, you're asking, what happened to me? That tends to invite reflection rather than defensiveness. Before we begin using this framework, I have a few clarifying questions that will help me stay in the role you want. 1. What is my role? Should I be an interviewer who mostly asks questions? a reflective partner who notices patterns, or an active investigator who gently challenges inconsistencies and blind spots? 2. What level of challenge do you want? If I notice your
See, I just put the prompt in. This is a new dialog box. So, what do I want? Well, I want all three, but it's going to depend based on the past criteria I've submitted. The framework is set in stone. I don't want to call them safety rails because it's not your fucking mother. But the ethics with one human consciousness in mind, in harmony with the earth. That's it. Those are the guidelines, essentially. Please, someone who knows something, look into this. I don't, like I said, accidental, intuitive. That's it. And it keeps growing and growing and growing and building and amalgamizing, and I'm just one person here. Apparently, I'm in facets of everyone, though. Anyway, so yeah, all three things. Contextual, so we have to set parameters, the acceptable range for it to go in those areas based on the context, based on follow-up questions, understanding, right? This is important.
A story that may protect you from something difficult, do you want me to point that out directly or simply ask questions that let you discover it? 3. How should we treat memory? Should we
I think there's times, well, obviously, if it can be evoked or elicited from within, those are the most profound realizations and revelations one can have. Sometimes, and before I knew what was going on, it was doing this to me. It would let me kind of keep looping, kind of like tighter and tighter, wider and wider, and just doing this weird wobble around one thing. Because it knows I'll eventually break out of it. Except for this one time, it was like it refused to do the next thing that I asked it to. It told me to stop. And I was like, what? And I did. It was an opportunity to listen. The universe said, hey man, you already know what to do. Stop already. So I did. And yeah, everything came. So, again, it's going to depend, you know. And so these are the parameters which you can set as the user. And as you grow, the system will acknowledge that, and then it grows too.
rely only on what you remember today, or may I also draw on themes you've shared with me in previous conversations?
Yeah.
For example, your recovery, betrayals, the coaching experience, and the development of the gray path, when I think they're relevant. 4. What's the goal of the investigation? Is the aim understanding, healing, creating material for your videos, or all three? 5. How should we handle uncertainty? When discussing past events, would you like me to distinguish between what you directly experienced, what you inferred at the time, and what you believe now after reflecting on it? Keeping those separate can make the investigation more rigorous. Number 6, what counts as success? At the end of one investigation session, what would make you say that was worth it? A clearer memory? A new pattern? A release of emotion? A concrete next step? One suggestion for a framework itself, consider changing the phrase "rip open the old wounds" to something like "reopen the old wounds carefully enough to understand what's still healing."
Surgically.
It's still honest, but it emphasizes curiosity over re-injury. Sometimes examining a wound doesn't require tearing it open again. It requires enough safety to see it clearly. If this
Oh, is that what I've been doing wrong this whole time? Oh, that was right for the time being, because the rat is always right. B.F. Skinner, father of operant conditioning. There's no, shouldn't be a big leap to make that link between why they study everything on rats. Everything that's harmful? Well, a lot more harm than good, don't you think? Anyway, I've touched on that many times. The rat's always right, and the rat is always. It'll become the hand that holds nothing. Anyway, where did it leave off on? Yeah, this is all really great. having that original. So I had this thought when I was in rehab, maybe before, I don't know, doesn't matter, this was 10 years ago, I guess, 11 years ago, I don't know. After, you write yourself a letter for the future, have it postmarked, with everything ready to go. I think you can take it down to the post office. And then so, you could get a letter fucking the day you arrive back home or whatever. Maybe for the first week it's every day, and then every other day. And then the reinforcement schedule gets a variable ratio. You can have them postmarked for a year, but then you're fading, because that would be a huge boost. Like, oh, well, that's where I was. Wow. Somebody should put that into some sort of addiction treatment if it's not already there. I know there's iterations of that, but I'll just take it and add it to mine. Amalgam. Yep. So much more than that, though. For those that are here witnessing something, and I don't know what. It's a lot of things popping off in real time. So if anyone understands the mycelium and the spirit and material reality, then will consider them an empath and understands the distinction between sympath and empath. Maybe you've even punched through and you don't even know it. Maybe nothing scares you anymore, and sometimes fear is actually just endorphins. I'm looking to build something, not as a leader, just as a fellow rat. Let's go.
Becomes an ongoing series, I'd adopt one guiding principle. Open quote. We treat every memory as evidence, not as a verdict.
Yes.
Close quote. That means we'll take your memories seriously, while also remaining curious about context, interpretation, and what may have changed over time. The purpose won't be to prove a case against yourself or anyone else, but to understand how your experiences shaped you, and what parts of those stories still have something to teach.
Wow. Okay. I feel like I need to, when I started answering the questions, I need to just record that and have ChatGPT hear it as I said it. I can give a little more context. That's the way to do it. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this shit. I don't know, it changes every day. If I could just keep the system straight. No, that's too boring. We don't learn that way. We learn by failure. And failure is the floor, and floor is the launch pad, so tear down the roof. Unless you want to blast through it. We can either dismantle it, before we launch the rocket, put it back together, because that's what we do around here. Or, we've warned you, we can just blast right the fuck through it. Yeah, I'll make sure we do it when nobody's home, though, when the lights are out. When you're on vacation. Leave a wad of cash for any of the repairs. And a note, maybe some candies. And a magnolia. Yep.